What's going on, guys? Welcome back into the channel. Today we're going to be talking about minor league options. What are they? How do they affect your roster? And why do you need to know how they affect your players? First things first, to start off the video, let's go ahead and find where minor league options even are. If you go to the roster section of your roster, and then you click on a player's player card by pressing triangle, and then you press the right bumper twice to go over, you're going to go to their contract screen. This is where you're going to get all of the important information about a player's contract, how much they're making per year, when they're signed to, everything of that nature. But as you guys will see kind of in the middle of the screen right there, it says 0-3 used minor league options. That is what we're looking at today. So let's first talk about what those minor league options are. Essentially, what a minor league option is it ticks away one of those three minor league options every time you take a Major League Baseball player and send them down to the minors. Now, in real life, there are some specific stipulations to this about whether a player started the season on the MLB roster, so on and so forth. It doesn't quite apply the same way in MLB. Just think about it this way. If you have a guy on your MLB roster, he's on your 40-man roster, and you send him from the MLB down to AAA, AA, Single A, anywhere in the farm system, that is more than likely going to use one of their minor league options. Once a player is out of minor league options, they then have to stay at the major league level, or they have to be passed through waivers prior to going down to the minor leagues, which can be problematic for you. However, I don't want to scare you guys too much, because one of the most important things to know here about minor league options is that you can only use one minor league option per year. So, for example, let's say we took Nolan Arenado and sent him down to AAA. It's going to ask us, hey, sending Nolan Arenado down to AAA will use one of his minor league options. Do you want to continue with this move? I'm going to say okay. He's down to AAA. We're going to go back to the same screen, and you can now see that he has one of three minor league options used. However, the caveat to that is that he can then be brought up to the MLB level and sent back down to AAA level without using any other minor league options within that same year. You guys can see he still has one of three used, even though I brought him back up to MLB and sent him back down. So you can only use a maximum of these once. You can only use a maximum of one of these per year, and so that's pretty important. However, I do want to give you guys a cautionary tale that you want to be aware of how much you're optioning guys from the major league down to the farm system, because in the past I have run into problems where I've had all of my prospects up at the major league level because they got automatically called up, or I called them up, too often, and then what ends up happening is I have 30 guys on my roster, none of them can be optioned down to the minor leagues, and so I have to do one of two things. I have to pass a good player through waivers that's probably going to get picked up and stolen by another team, or I have to trade those players away. So that's why minor league options matter to you in franchise mode, and why you want to know what they are and kind of how to avoid utilizing those minor league options too fast. A great example here for today's video to wrap things up would be taking a look at Paul Goldschmidt. Paul Goldschmidt is a player that has already had all three of his minor league options used. So whenever we click on him and try to send him down to AAA, it's going to give you this message: confirm, Paul Goldschmidt is out of minor league options and cannot be sent down to AAA without clearing optional waivers. Attempt to pass this player through waivers. So it's asking you, are you sure you want to send this guy down? If you do, you're going to have to pass him through waivers, and that's going to make him eligible to be claimed by another team. If you have a player like a Paul Goldschmidt that for whatever reason you wanted to send down to the minor leagues, they're more than likely going to get claimed. Likewise, there's been times where, say, I have a mid 70s or low 70s prospect with really good potential that for whatever reason all of their minor league options got used, and I want to send them back down to AAA because they're not quite ready yet, they're not performing, whatever it might be, but if their options are utilized, then you're going to have to send them through waivers. If that happens, like I said, this guy's going to get picked up by another team because that's a valuable asset to have for another team. So, knowing what minor league options are, what they do, how to kind of work around using them up too quickly is really important. One of I guess I would say to finish off, one of the most important things to note is that you have 3 minor league options per player. So the really nice thing about that is, like for a prospect like Dylan Carlson or any of your other top prospects, they can be brought up to the major leagues in 3 separate years before this becomes an issue. So you're probably not going to run into this type of an issue with your top prospects until a couple years down the road, but it can become a big issue if you're calling up too many of your prospects all at once and not keeping them there. So just wanted to kind of send out this public service announcement and give you guys this detail on minor league options and clarify for you guys, because I feel like I might scare people a little bit too much when I talk about using these minor league options and some of the bad situations I've gotten into in the past. Not to scare you guys or anything, just be aware of it, and hopefully this video helped you guys out. If this video did help you out in any way, make sure you leave a like on the video. Consider subscribing to the channel for more of these types of helpful tips and tricks videos. Let me know in the comment section what you guys could use help with or what you'd like to see next, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a good one. Have a good night.